Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Dante, and today's date is September 24th, 2025, and this is my week 7 of FTE 211, which means we almost there. So let's get it. Tell me who the fuck you wanna be.
Can I? Baby? Can I?
All right, so as you can see, to start this video off, we have the firearm completely broken down, and we're gonna go over a few things. And the first thing being is analyze when trigger work is necessary, should be performed, or should not be performed. And I believe trigger work is only necessary depending on what you plan on using this firearm for. If you're gonna use it for a competition pistol, you're gonna be doing some trigger work, polishing, fitment adjustments. You may just get a new trigger just so you can get a much lighter, smooth pull with a nice crisp break. Or say you're looking to EDC this firearm, you are going to want your trigger to be a little bit more on the heavy end, and that's not only for safety, but for legal purposes also. Next, we're gonna go over improper trigger work, and I believe any trigger work that's done to your firearm that causes it to malfunction is improper trigger work. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's very easy to do. Some improper trigger work can cause your firearm to have hammer fall, hammer follow, and that's just something you do not want. So to avoid that, I suggest if you don't know what you're doing, just take it to someone that does. Take it to a certified gunsmith or someone that knows what they're doing when it comes to these 1911s. All right, so now I'm gonna go over how all these components interact with each other within the firing control group, and then we'll add in a couple things that you can do to smoothen up the trigger feel. So starting off with this trigger, here goes the trigger and the bow. So as you pull the trigger, it pushes back on the bow, which is pushing on your disconnector, right? So when you push on your disconnector, the disconnector also rotates your sear, allowing it to disengage from your hammer, right? And while that's happening, your strut is inside your main spring, and your main spring is giving your strut the pressure to send your hammer up to hit your firing pin. So let me show you how that works. You're pushing on your trigger, right? I'll put this back together the way it was. You're pushing on the trigger, which pushes your disconnector, and your disconnector, which is normally up a little bit more in here, right? Your disconnector is gonna rotate your sear like that, right? It's gonna rotate your sear. The spring on the inside of here is pushing up on here. So it's gonna push up. Well, it works a little bit better, but it pushes up, forcing the hammer up, boom. You also have your sear spring doing work in the background. So this piece right here is actually what's giving pressure for your hand grip, or the grip safety. This piece right here is actually what's pushing on your disconnector. And then this piece right here connects to the sear itself. All right, now a few things you can do to make your trigger feel a little bit smoother without replacing any parts. You could polish your bow on this one, and then polish any parts of the components that touch the firearm itself that's gonna be rubbing. You can polish those. You can always take your hammer, polish down your teeth. You could also polish up your sear and your disconnector, especially right here. I mean, there is an actual tool, or I want to say there's a jig you can use that'll give you like the perfect angle on your sear just to get a much smoother pull. And then you also have another tool for your bow that you can use, that you just put this right over your bow, and you start tapping around the side just to get the perfect dimension here for just a better fitment inside the firearm. A few other things you can do, like this here, you can polish off the tips of your sear spring, and then you can also take, if you're looking for a little bit lighter pull, you can take this middle spring here and bend it back some. This is gonna lighten up that pull. Or if you're looking for a little bit heavier pull, you can always bend it forward just to get a little bit heavier, a little bit more heavier retention, I'd say, or not retention, but a little bit more. Dang, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Just to make it a little bit heavier. But yeah, so those are a few things you can do just to smoothen out the trigger pull. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to deburr the trigger track using my trigger track stone. I'm also going to polish up my trigger bow here just so we can get a smoother trigger pull. But if you give me a few seconds, I'm going to do this part off camera. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the firearm so we can do a functions check. And then we're going to go over the parts that I have added to this firearm and the parts that I have coming. So now that you got to see it, I'm going to go ahead and show you. This thing is completely empty, nothing in the chamber, no magazine, pointing in the safe direction. It is clear, but I'm going to go over a few things that I have added to it and what I have coming. And as you can see, I did add this Recover Tactical grip setup. It also gives you a Picatinny rail, which allows you to add a light on there. I added this red trigger, which you can definitely see. This is an adjustable polished trigger. It's not no Wilson Combat or anything, but it is pretty smooth for what it is. So let's check it out. Nice. Check out the reset on there. Oh, it is pretty sweet for what it is. So that's what I have done to it so far. I do have a new hammer coming in. I have an extended grip safety coming in, ampy safety, thumb safety, and then I have a mag or a slide release that's extended and also has like a gas pedal added onto there, so it gives me a little extra recoil control. But yeah, there goes a few things you can do to it to make it personal or even upgrade the performance. All right, now let's go ahead and do a functions test. We're going to be using these dummy rounds. I'm going to add my magazine in there, chamber my first round. There it is. Now what we're going to be doing is making sure that the safeties are functioning correctly. We're going to start off with the thumb safety. Turn the thumb safety on. Don't add any pressure to the grip safety. Pull the trigger. There it is. Add pressure to the grip safety. Keep the thumb safety on. And there it is. So now we're going to turn the thumb safety off and make sure the grip safety is working. Don't apply pressure. There goes that. Now if we add a pressure, it should go off. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is extract our empty casing, feed a new round into the chamber, and then we're going to be listening for that reset. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, chambered a new round. Listen for that reset. Perfect. Let's go ahead and fire it. That's working. And now I believe I only have one more in there. Now we're looking for a lock back. And there it is. We got that lock back on the last one. It looks like it is functioning. So with nothing else to say, till next time. Peace.